Welcome. Good morning. Welcome to the Rick Helps Real Estate Show morning update. Nothing changed today. Good night. It almost felt like that. I looked at my new listings. It's a 7-day moving average. So I get in the MLS and I add all this stuff up. And the first thing I notice is there's only one home difference between yesterday morning and today. I thought, man, is it a stagnant market or what? It's just fascinating. But before I get started here, I got to show you last night. I don't know, the wind was blowing and I thought I'm just going to step outside and see what's going on. And I look to my right and I get to see this cool Elon Musk rocket taking off. It's launching something like 50 satellites and the whole sky was lit up. And what really got me is how fast that thing was moving. And good morning, Stephanie. You know how you watch a jet go across the sky? Well, this thing is it's a rocket. So it just flew across the sky, and it was bright. It lit up the whole city skyline. So that was fun. It lifted off from California. I hope they do that again. And I need to do some more research and get a heads up because I would have loved to have seen the whole thing. Gretchen saw it too. Yeah, wasn't that cool? I had a friend that lives on a Rocky Point, Mexico, and he said went right over the top of them as well. So that was a fun thing to watch. Now, we've got some news here coming. This really isn't a surprise. The CHIPS Act that we have is going to funnel $10 billion into the Intel plant down in Chandler. That's an older picture because you don't see the cranes. You drive by there now. It is crane heaven down there. And now they are already expanding that plant by $20 billion. But it says they could receive billions of dollars in CHIPS Act subsidies as early as this week, according to a report. Biden's Secretary of Commerce, Gina Raimondo, reportedly plans to unveil the CHIPS Act award at an event in Arizona with the company's customers and suppliers in attendance. He's flying to town today. Going to hand them a check, I think. So Intel declined to comment on the Reuters report. They're seeking federal CHIPS Act funding to support the construction of two fabs totaling $20 billion at its Ocotillo campus in Chandler. In addition, it's building out its Silicon Heartland semiconductor manufacturing site near Columbus, Ohio. Intel invested $20 billion in the project, which is slated for completion 2026. So Intel is growing out here. Now, I met somebody a couple of years ago. He is actually in charge of their construction budget, who told me that his budget was $80 billion. And he said, we're only spending $20 billion next year. So they've got big plans for that campus, as they do with the Taiwanese chip plant in North Phoenix. So yeah, Stephanie, next time I drive by there, I'll take some pictures of that. It's incredible. It's always amazes me. You got to build a building that big to make something this small. And they had the roads all tore up down there while they were putting in the infrastructure. Obviously need a lot more electrical power. And they finally got that all patched up. But if you went down Alma School Road, south of Chandler Heights, it was nothing but ditches and road cones. So what's going on in our market today? Let's take a look at this, and we're going to do a little bit of a dive into Peoria and Surprise area. So stick around if you want to see some of that. And we've got an interest rate of 7.11. And one of the driving factors of that is overnight, the Bank of Japan finally moved away from negative interest rates and they raised their rate. So Bank of Japan is tightening while we're sitting around waiting to see if we're going to loosen things up. Now, Canada loosened things up a little bit last week. The European Union, I think, is staying right where we're at right now. And so we wait. Nothing's going to happen in January. The bond traders are telling us that. They're even starting to show a little bit of resistance for a June rate cut. So, that explains why today our new listings have only changed by 1 unit. Here's our new listings chart. The blue line being new listings and the black line being listings under contract. They're kind of following each other in a narrow band of about 81% of the new listings getting gobbled up. So that's healthy. That's not bad. It's steady Eddie. And if we look at our Cromford Market Index for Phoenix, you can see that it's flatlined. You know, it started to decline a little bit. Now it's following this line of 150 right here. It's just hanging in there. And see, so what color was last year? That was this one. Would you call that magenta? So it was climbing last year, kind of came down, and now we're seeing just a leveling off. Well, let's go to Peoria. Peoria is kind of seeing the same thing. Peoria is following Phoenix, and let's go to Surprise and see what's going on in Surprise. And these are the areas where there's a lot of new construction. Surprise has been flat ever since the beginning of the year. They're right at 100. Anything above 100 is considered beneficial to sellers. Anything below, beneficial to buyers. They are riding the fence right there at 100. Active listings weekly for us, you can see, is 15,579. This is only updated on Mondays. I'm expecting this to do that, kind of go down a little bit, but maybe not, because interest rates staying at about 7.11. We're going to see a gap grow between contracts and new listings that may just naturally let that climb. You don't normally see a lot of new listings start hitting the market in April. So I'm going to stick my neck out and say that thing's going to stay a little flat for a while. But if you look at this is Peoria and Surprise combined, they have 1,400 listings this year, whereas last year they had 1,125. So they got 300 more listings this year than they did last year. It's not monumental, but it's following the trend the past 3 weeks, just hanging in there flat. This is the peak of our market right now in March. This is anything you see as far as sales from now forward statistically ends up being lower. So we'll see what happens. Closing over list price in these two cities is running about right here 16%. Not very big. So 16% closings over list price. And the biggest bulk of that is in the $300,000 to $400,000 range, $400,000 to $500,000 range. And the average over list price in those ranges is $5,000 or less. So nothing magical about that. If we look at annual median sales price in Peoria, it has only ticked up slightly, just gone up just a hair. If we take a look at Surprise, which we will scroll down and do for you right now here, same thing, it's flat. So not a whole lot of ups and downs in that market. It's pretty steady Eddie. And that's not a bad thing. You've heard Pat talk on Fridays in our live stream saying that, it's volatility that really hurts the market, because you're trying to figure out when you can lock a rate, when you're going to write that offer. And when it's steady, people can make decisions. They can analyze interest rates. They can shop. That's why we yell at Pat and say, Pat, what's your rate? Oh, and nobody said that at the parade. I'm very disappointed. He got there. So we kid him with, Pat, what's your rate? Because, when you go to a mortgage broker, they look at dozens of loans, dozens of lenders out there to see what kind of rate that they can get for you and what kind of program and what the fees are. So if you call a mortgage broker and you say, hey, what's your rate? They don't have a rate, folks. The online people do. You click on there, I can get you 6.9. Okay, great. They don't even mention what the fee is. So we're very active in pushing mortgage brokers because of their flexibility. So that's why we always say, Pat, what's your rate? MS says, good morning. I have a listing come up in Casa Grande. Hope I can sell before summer. If it's Casa Grande, let me take a quick look for you here and see what's going on with your median sales prices. Look, if it's priced correctly, you'll move it. It's not a bad market. If you're sitting there 90 days out and it hasn't moved, it's nothing more than price, folks. Look at that. Your median sales price is steady. Let's go take a look and see where your active listings are compared to the rest of the market. And let's see. No, not Palo Verde. I want to get rid of all. Here we go. Bear with you. I didn't even share the screen with you. Here we are. Casa Grande, where'd it go? Right there. Here it comes. This is active weekly counts. You're right at last year. Last year, you were sitting at 431. You're 400. 5 less homes this year. So it's going to be the same as last year. I meant to show you this here. Your median sales price is steady. So if you want to sell before summer, you should not have a problem. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're going to test the market. So if when is your listing coming up, MS? Curious to see when that happens. That's a happening market down there. A little far if you want to commute to Phoenix, but there's a lot of stuff going on down there. Now, I am officially with Agave Homes and Investments LLC today. Actually, yesterday about 4 o'clock. So I will go the lower end. Been tracking price, 1,900 square foot, 2-bath. Thank you, Marine. Good luck in 2 weeks. You'll be fine. As long as you're tracking on the lower end, that's the way to do it, folks. You're not going to get more than your neighbor today. You're just not with rates above 7%. Your neighbor may have got lucky a few months ago. That no longer applies today. So don't stick your neck out. You're going to regret it. We have a new website that we put together here, Find Your Dream Home Today. It's very simple, and it's simple on purpose. You got a drop-down menu here, let you search by city, and we have a menu down below here to let you search by city. If you want a mortgage calculator, it's right there. And if you want a detailed report on what your home value is, fill out this information here. Go to rick@rickhelps.com or azinvest.com, invests with an S, and we'll send you a detailed report. You're not going to get an online evaluation. You're not going to click on this like Zillow and go, oh, 450. We're going to send it in, and we're going to send you all the comps, and it's going to be pretty detailed. So just give us your name, your email, and the address. We can't do a home value report without an address. Yes, people have asked me to do that. What's my house worth? I don't know. Where is it? It's a fun business. According to economists, CPI increased to 3.9 from target 2%, primarily due to housing low inventory, which forces low supply, keeps prices stable or higher. Housing is 44% of CPI. Yes, shelter costs. They are trying to slow that down. Are they going to beat it down with a stick? Because they're not making too much progress when it comes to our CPI, when it comes to housing costs. Now, Jerome Powell came out and said, a lot of that's out of my control. You know, he's basically selling, I can't build houses. I can flex the transfer of money and interest rates, but I can't solve the housing shortage from this microphone. And he is correct. So, you know, they can affect housing, but do you want to clamp down so hard that you're bringing down the price of housing severely, and yet people have no place to go? So now I did a lot of buzzing around yesterday, and thank you, Stephanie. And I'm still just in awe of how many apartments are going up in the valley. And I bought a new car. It's not new. I got a 2005 Chrysler Crossfire, and boy, that thing's fun. So I'm just buzzing around a little bit yesterday when I had some downtime, and just kept looking out the window going, man, look at this. This is nuts. So that's going to give us some rental relief, I think. I mean, I don't know how it can't. You're already starting to see some apartments offering the first month free or the second month free. That's usually the first indication that we're going to get some relief, but not in general housing. There's just no, the only land available out here now is way out west or way out east. So growing in that market is going to be tough. Thank you for replying. Been watching your videos for months. First time with live interactions. Love the info you and your team share. Thanks for tuning in. My intention on the live mornings here is just to do that. Just to kind of come on and answer any questions that you have and show you what's going on. Nothing's going to change between today and tomorrow, except maybe my t-shirt. and we'll see how that goes over. But thanks for tuning in, folks. I hope you have a great day. We got another comment here. Yes, Avondale, McDowell is flooding with new apartments. Apartment building is awful. They're everywhere. It's incredible. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you have a great Tuesday. And let's see if we can find out when Elon Musk is going to pop one of those rockets into the sky so we can get a better look. Take care. Have a great day.